you're like us, you love a good train ride when you're traveling around Europe, but Switzerland could be expensive, real expensive. And one of the most popular things to do here is take a scenic railway, like the Bernina or the Glacier Express, but those can cost a whopping 272 francs per person.
What if I told you there's another railway that has less crowds, it's a fraction of the price, and is arguably more scenic than the one that you're probably thinking of? This is the Gotthard Express, one of Switzerland's most iconic scenic railways, but arguably one of the most underrated.
Traveling between Lucerne and Lugano, the Gotthard Panorama Express is a one-of-a-kind journey. Part boat, part train, through the heart of Switzerland. First, you'll glide across Lake Lucerne, then wind your way through the mountain valleys and the historic tunnels deep in the Swiss Alps.
We're starting off our day today walking through beautiful Lucerne on our way to the boat dock to start our next luxury experience.
That's right, luxury this time. We've been staying in a converted Swiss prison in Lucerne. It's actually really cool. They've turned this old prison into hostels and like a hotel suite. It's actually really neat. But we went from prison, jail time, to luxury experience in front of me.
Life's all about balance.
Let's go check this out. So to get this trip started, if you want to take this yourself, they do offer a luggage service. So we just dropped both bags off behind me. They've checked them. We will see them at the end of the journey. It's 23 kilograms per bag, similar to an airplane, if you want to use that service. But let's get on board. And now that we've taken off from the city, I'm going to pass it over to Erin so she can show you around this beautiful boat before we get into some of the historic spots that we'll be seeing on this trip.
So we're kicking the tour off in the main room. This is actually the engine room. So the engine's spinning behind me and it turns the wheels on the steamboat. Not the wheels, the paddles.
It's like being in a car wash, except you can't roll down the window on Erin.
Down the stairs is the cabin. I think this is probably where you would take kids if you needed to like let them run out a little bit. There's nobody down here, so this is a great space. I'm not sure what this thing is because everything is in German, but I'm gonna try my best not to touch it to mess anything up. Let's go ahead and head back upstairs where everybody is so that I can finish showing you the first floor. So behind me are the meal cards for the regular passengers. So we're still on level 1, and there is a first class dining area down here if you can't make it upstairs, because upstairs is where first class is located. Wrapping up level 1, you have the outside seating for the front and the back of the boat. The views are unmatched. There's a lot of people down here, so we're going to keep this tour moving.
One of the reasons that the bottom floor is more full than the top floor is because this boat is not only part of the Gotthard Panorama Express route, but it also serves as a ferry across Lake Lucerne, stopping at multiple stops along the way for people to get on and off and travel to their next destination.
Now we're gonna go upstairs. That's first class only, so let's go. Welcome to the dining card. So whenever you first get here, the first class is upstairs, so we're upstairs in the upstairs dining hall right now. So it's way quieter up here. This is the first class viewing deck behind me.
So that wraps up our boat tour, and we're almost on to the exciting things that we get to see on this trip. We're actually traveling from Lucerne to Flüelen, and then we will get off the boat and then onto the scenic railway. And the whole trip is about 5.5 hours or about 182 kilometers.
So while we're on this boat, we're actually gonna pass 3 iconic Swiss spots, and then when we get on the train, we have 2 more for a total of 5 iconic spots. But we're so excited for those, can't wait to show you.
Just as we were coming up on our first famous location, we actually passed a familiar peak. We were up there yesterday. That's Stu's. The Stu's original night. That's from. So we were pulling up to the Schiller Stone, which is our first iconic Swiss spot on this boat ride. It's named after the Friedrich Schiller, who wrote the tale of William Teller, who made it into a legend. It's become a symbol of Swiss freedom. The second stop, or the second big thing that we're going to see, is the Rütli Meadow, which is where a few cantons back in 1291, I believe was the year, came together to sign the Rütli Oath, and that's when Switzerland was founded. And lastly is Tell's Chapel. It is named after him as this is the spot believed where he escaped from a boat during a storm, and that's the spot he landed. It's known as a space of Swiss freedom, resistance, and independence, and that's why the chapel is named after him today.
Well, I've never learned so much. This boat ride's like worth it, to be fair. You need a train ride. Learned all kinds of fun facts about Switzerland and all that stuff. And we got to see the bottom of Stevens because we were on top yesterday.
So we just passed our last Swiss landmark. What a cool experience this has been. Even if you're not into, identifying all the landmarks, which I don't know why you wouldn't be, you still get to sit on the deck and enjoy this amazing weather. It was supposed to rain today and it's held off for us. We're just feeling so lucky right now, but we're about to pull into the dock. And it's crazy to think that this is just the first half of the journey. We still have the scenic train ride to come. I am so, so happy to be here right now. So we just got here. We are so excited. We went to our original seats and we met a woman who works here, and she was so sweet to us. She was like, these are not the best seats. I'm gonna move you forward. So she got us these new seats that are supposed to be better views. We are so excited and loving it here.
All right, so we've made it to the main event. We are on the Gotthard Express. It's going to be really hard to top that boat ride, let me tell you. But we're ready to kick things off on a train ride through the Alps. How incredible. All right, before we get started, let's show you around the seat that you get whenever you're in the first class Gotthard Panorama Express. Seats, huge divider in case you don't want to talk to the person next to you. Outlets down here in case you need to charge anything. Looks like standard European outlets to me. The seats, very, very comfortable. And, whoa, you got a little bit of, recline. I have a table here, but that's the seat with these amazing huge windows here. It wasn't long before our train departed towards its final destination, and we were being served with some optional drinks and snacks. Just like with our boat journey, we will get to see some very famous spots along the way, mainly the Wassen Church and the Gotthard Tunnel. But there is also quite the scenery change as we make our way from the Alpine region of Uri to the more Mediterranean region of Ticino, which will serve as our gateway to the Italian-speaking side of Switzerland.
I was holding the glasses like this, and that lovely little worker came by and she was like, "I'm holding the glasses." And it was because we were going around the tunnel, so the glass kept moving. And she was like, "Well, the reason the glass is moving is because we're going around the mountain right now. And that's how we're going to be able to see the church from different angles, from below, then middle, and then above it." Super cool.
Like the famous Bernina and Glacier Express routes, the Gotthard Panorama Express also uses a series of spiral tunnels to climb higher and higher into the Alps. As the train winds its way up towards the Gotthard Tunnel, we are treated to one of Switzerland's most iconic sights, the Church of Wassen. This little white church perched up on a hillside has become a symbol of the Gotthard Railway. And like Aaron mentioned, we will get to see the church 3 times. First from below, then level, and then finally above. A perfect example of Swiss engineering and scenic beauty working hand in hand. But now that we're at the top, we are about to head into the famous Gotthard Tunnel. Our attendant actually came by and told us to visit a special car before we entered the tunnel.
So like you may have noticed, we're in a different part of the train. That lovely woman who works here told us that you can come into the back, and that is where it's called the photo train. So you come back here, and this is where you get your pictures. And the windows are actually open, so you can go out if you want to. So much fun. So where we're sitting has the big panoramic windows, but these windows come down. Really cool.
One of the things that makes this train so unique is that nowadays most high-speed rails use base tunnels that cut through the mountains. But the Gotthard still uses the old traditional ways of the spirals that go up and the spirals that go down the mountain. These slow-moving spirals to help them travel 90, 30, 50 meters, just higher, higher, higher. That way they can work themselves up and over the mountain. And the tunnels that they do pass through are smaller than the ones that they use today, which are much larger through the base of the mountain. This was such a treat. We actually tried to film it, but honestly, it was a bit darker than we thought it would be in the tunnel. The train actually slowed down in the middle of the tunnel and a short film played outside of the walls as we passed by, showing how the original Gotthard Tunnel was built back in the 19th century. What really amazed us was learning that the tunnel was dug from both ends. One team started in the German-speaking side, and the other team started on the Italian-speaking side. After years of hard and dangerous work, they finally met in the middle, and the two tunnels were only half a meter apart. That's some incredible precision for the 1800s. All of which was orchestrated by this guy. So beside me is the monument of Alfred Eicher. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Without this man, this tunnel and this panoramic express would not exist. He was the one that pushed it to the breakthrough. Unfortunately, before its completion, he was actually ousted from his position due to problems financing this amazing rail line. He was never invited to the grand opening or never rode on his amazing idea. But a couple of years ago, for the 100 or 200 year anniversary, they built this monument in honor of him, as he is the reason that this rail line exists. As we exited the Gotthard Tunnel, it felt like we had almost been transported into a whole new place. The sun had vanished, rain had taken its place, and the towering alpine peaks had gave way to gentler, greener hills as we descended into the Ticino region of southern Switzerland. So as our trip is coming to a close, we must head back to our seats to do one final thing before we arrive in Lugano.
So you can fill out these postcards and we'll send them to your house. So we're going to do that now.
So how is your Italian?
During our time in Switzerland, we've had all kinds of unique transportations. We've done the world's longest cogwheel train, the world's steepest gondola, the world's steepest funicular, and then this one is also great in its own right. I mean, look at the views out of here. This is just such an awesome experience.
So we have made it to Lugano. Unfortunately, this luxury experience is coming to a close, but we are not done yet. We are going to head to the hotel so we can tell you the stats about how much this costs versus the competitors.
The weather has taken a turn and we have a 45 minute walk to the hotel.
For planning.
Yeah, I can't control the weather. All right, we have finally made it to our hotel after such a wonderful day, in my opinion.
It was. It's a day full of luxury.
We started off the day with the Lucerne paddle boat, steam paddle cruise, and then the first class Gotthard Express, which was the main event. Mm-hmm. And now we're in our hotel overlooking Lugano at our end destination. So a day full of luxury indeed. But one of the things that we wanted to address at the end of the video was how much it cost, because we said that this one was a more affordable alternative in our opinion when we did our research. Typically this train ride costs 164 francs with a 24 seat reservation cost, so that makes it 188. We both had half fare passes, which made it even cheaper. So what we paid was, drumroll please,
82 francs per person.
82 francs per person, which makes this one incredibly cheap in our opinion for the Scenic Railway, especially when you get a Lucerne boat ride, a bunch of history that we didn't even know about until we tried to do research for the video, and there was so much more that just kept coming over the intercom. We were riding around.
She gave us a book like this thick, full of like facts and information about that rail line. We had zero idea. Such a cool experience.
And when we left, she was like, "Do you need any more information? I have more books." And we were like, "No, I think we're good.
I think that's good.
I think we're good." But yeah, you get the boat ride, which a lot of people just pay for the boat ride anyways when they're visiting Lucerne, and then you get the train ride, and we were traveling this direction anyway, so that helps. But the other thing is, if you're going the other direction, you can ride it the other way. And honestly, after riding it, that might be the way to do it, is to travel from Lugano to Lucerne. Because the last hour of the train ride...
Yeah, it's mostly industrial at the very end. The most views are like when it first starts, the first like hour
of the train ride.
Mm-hmm.
The boat ride is all views all the time.
Oh, the boat ride is phenomenal.
Yeah, and she was telling us that whenever they dig all the tunnels through for the trains to go through, a lot of that dirt that gets moved comes out onto this side, and they use it on this side, and that's why there's an industrial part. The views are still good, just not as good as the other side.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll do it for us this week, and we will see you next week in
Florence. I forgot.
Until next time.
Till next time.
This is the Gotthard Express. Hi.
So we made it to the main event. We are in the Gotthard Express. It's going to be really hard to top that boat ride because let me tell you, that was good. But it is nice to be out of the sun because I am roasted. So let's get on our journey through.
Okay, there we go. That's a funny.
One of the reasons that makes this boat ride so special. The first is the Schiller Stone, which is named after Friedrich Schiller, who wrote the tale.
High-speed trains use a base tunnel, which is where they go through a mountain, but the Gotthard line goes around the mountain. So high-speed trains go through. Gotthard train still uses the old through, around the mountain, down the spiral. I'm saying it wrong.